Hi, you're listening to Everyday Superpower, a place where you can learn about body language and nonverbal communication. Keep it plain and simple, get straight to the point, how you are able to read the mind of another through observing them in real time. Okay, so if that sounds good to you, click like. If you wish to continue watching these videos and informing yourself how to astutely observe those around you, click subscribe. And if anything comes to mind through the video, please feel free to leave a comment. Right, so today we're talking about the fist bump. A relatively common greeting, at least in the Western world. I don't know how far it spans, but this is a greeting gesture, okay, where an individual will form a fist and bump each other's knuckles. So you'll outreach the fist, the other individual will do the same, and there will be a connection. Essentially like a handshake, but not like a handshake, okay, a greeting of the hands nonetheless. So it's a informal greeting gesture, okay, as the handshake is very formal. And what this does is demonstrates a friendship of sorts, so it communicates something more than a business relationship. It communicates something deeper than that, or at least it tries to imply a message that there is something more than strictly business, okay. It applies to friendships, okay? You'll see this more commonly in friendships than in the workplace. And when we speak of business associates, yeah, but only within a close realm, okay? So if the individuals already know each other and have had a laugh together and so on and so forth, you might see this form, all right? It's a demonstration of a less formal relationship, essentially. It breaks down barriers and forms a bond into that world of friendship, okay, which may be useful in business. Obviously not on your first impression, as it would seem a little unprofessional, but generally speaking, if you boarded into this realm, it shows that you have a communication and a connection which is a little more so than the general, okay. It tends to be reserved as a gesture between masculine men. Okay, it's not a submissive gesture. Why is it not a submissive gesture? Because it's pretty primitive as far as the clashing of the fists, all right? It's a little bit of a little bit of an explosive connection. Not only that, but the fists in general are significant of aggression, okay? Now, we speak of that, but does that make it more aggressive than the handshake? No, definitely not, because unless you are deciding to punch the other person's fist, there's no games that can be played with this gesture, all right? So when you are, having a handshake and you want to get the upper hand and all this and that, there's so many contortions and different means of, displaying dominance and all of this foolishness that may go on with a handshake, which I've done numerous videos on. So feel free to check that out if you're interested in how handshakes work and how somebody shakes your hand sort of gives you an inner sight to how they feel towards you. Right, so as I said, tends to be reserved within the masculine realms. You don't necessarily see females doing it all too often unless they are trying to put on a bit of a masculine display, all right? And obviously, in the times we live in, with this, well, let's speak about generally, yeah? If you're generally able to, you're generally a little less prone to developing a bacterial infection of sorts if you were to communicate via the fist pump rather so than the handshake, all right? So yeah, it's a signal of cohesion, solidarity, and affection without a great deal of intimacy, so you don't have to go hugging another man up or anything to display that there is affection there, okay? I wouldn't do it in a proper environment if those whom you need to impress are around you, because you want to keep a professional frame. And last but not least, it does speak a little bit of wonder in regards to the proximity as to how far you are reaching into the realm of the other person's space. So I did a video based on people who are used to having more space. So if you live in the countryside or live, in a sparsely populated area, you tend to naturally, subconsciously need more space in your proximity compared to somebody whom is used to like inner city life and being on the public transport and so forth, who is used to having people in close coordinates. So, you know, you'll be able to identify what somebody is used to purely through the amount of space they will outreach when creating this fist bump motion. And that's about it. Hopefully there was something to take home here. Click like, click subscribe, feel free to leave a comment, you know how we do it, and see you next time. Goodbye.